George Bernard Shaw, 1856 to 1950, was an Irish playwright, critic, polemicist, and political activist who played a significant role in the Western theater, culture, and politics over the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Shaw wrote more than 60 plays during his lifetime, including major works such as Man and Superman, 1903, Pygmalion, 1912, and St. Joan, 1923. His writings often contain both comedy and underlying social criticisms, particularly concerning education, marriage, religion, government, healthcare, and class privilege. Shaw was born in Dublin, Ireland, into a lower-middle-class family. He moved to London in 1876, where he struggled to establish himself as a writer and novelist, and became active in the socialist movement. His first successful play was Arms and the Man, 1894, and from then on, his reputation as a dramatist grew rapidly. Shaw's influence extended beyond the theater. He was a prolific essayist and speaker, advocating for social reforms and the importance of intellectual and cultural upliftment. He was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1925, uniquely for his work, which is marked by both idealism and humanity, its stimulating satire often being infused with a singular poetic beauty. Shaw accepted the award but refused the prize money, dedicating it to finance translations of Swedish books to English. Now, let's look at 30 famous quotes by George Bernard Shaw. 1. Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. This quote emphasizes the importance of personal development and self-creation over the passive discovery of an inherent identity. 2. We don't stop playing because we grow old. We grow old because we stop playing. Shaw suggests that maintaining a playful, curious attitude towards life keeps one youthful and vibrant, whereas ceasing to engage actively with the world leads to aging. 3. The single biggest problem in communication is the illusion that it has taken place. Here, Shaw points out a common issue in communication: the assumption that just because something has been said, it has been understood as intended. 4. A government that robs Peter to pay Paul can always depend on the support of Paul. This quote critiques government policies that redistribute wealth in a way that benefits some at the expense of others, noting the political support that comes from beneficiaries. 5. People who say it cannot be done should not interrupt those who are doing it. Shaw encourages action and innovation, criticizing naysayers who doubt possibilities that others are actively proving. 6. The reasonable man adapts himself to the world. The unreasonable one persists in trying to adapt the world to himself. Therefore, all progress depends on the unreasonable man. This famous quote celebrates those who challenge the status quo and drive societal progress through their refusal to conform. 7. Youth is wasted on the young. Shaw reflects on the irony that the energy and opportunities of youth are often not appreciated until later in life. 8. Freedom means responsibility. That is why most men dread it. This quote links freedom with the burden of responsibility, suggesting that the fear of accountability is what makes many shy away from true freedom. 9. There is no love sincerer than the love of food. A humorous observation on the universal passion for food, perhaps pointing to the primal and straightforward nature of this affection. 10. Democracy is a device that ensures we shall be governed no better than we deserve. Shaw critiques democracy by highlighting that it reflects the collective will and, consequently, the collective flaws of the electorate. 11. A happy family is but an earlier heaven. This quote suggests that the joy and harmony found in a loving family is akin to an idealized heavenly existence. 12. Success does not consist in never making mistakes, but in never making the same one a second time. Shaw emphasizes learning from errors as the key to success, rather than the impossible goal of perfection. 13. War does not determine who is right, only who is left. A poignant observation on the futility and destruction of war, noting that it solves nothing about the righteousness of causes. 14. Progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. Shaw underscores the necessity of openness to change for progress to occur, both personally and societally. 15. My way of joking is to tell the truth. It's the funniest joke in the world. This reflects Shaw's characteristic use of wit and truth to critique societal norms and behaviors. 16. The man who writes about himself and his own time is the only man who writes about all people and all time. Shaw argues that personal and contemporary narratives are universal, resonating across different eras and cultures. 17. Beware of false knowledge, it is more dangerous than ignorance. This quote warns against the perils of misinformation, which can lead to worse outcomes than simple lack of knowledge. 18. A life spent making mistakes is not only more honorable but more useful than a life spent doing nothing. Shaw champions the value of active engagement and learning through failure over inaction. 19. The worst sin toward our fellow creatures is not to hate them, but to be indifferent to them. That's the essence of inhumanity. Shaw decries indifference as the ultimate form of cruelty and inhumanity, more so than active malice. 20. Power does not corrupt men. Fools, however, if they get into a position of power, corrupt power. Shaw suggests that power itself is neutral, but the character of those who wield it determines its effect. 21. Money is indeed the most important thing in the world, and all sound and successful personal and national morality should have this fact for its basis. A satirical take on the overemphasis on money in society, critiquing the moral frameworks built around financial success. 22. Do not do unto others as you would that they should do unto you. Their tastes may not be the same. Shaw humorously reinterprets the Golden Rule, highlighting the importance of considering individual preferences and differences. 23. The only man I know who behaves sensibly is my tailor. He takes my measurements anew each time he sees me. The rest go on with their old measurements and expect me to fit them. This quote critiques the tendency of people to rely on outdated perceptions, unlike the tailor who reassesses Shaw's needs each time. 24. Patriotism is, fundamentally, a conviction that a particular country is the best in the world because you were born in it. Shaw critiques patriotism as a biased and unreasoned belief based on the accident of birth. 25. All great truths begin as blasphemies. Shaw points out that many ideas now considered truths were once seen as offensive or heretical, emphasizing the evolution of societal norms. 26. Happiness is a very pretty thing to feel, but very boring to talk about. A witty observation on the nature of happiness as being more enjoyable to experience than to discuss. 27. The art of government is the organization of idolatry. Shaw critiques political systems as structures that encourage the worship of leaders rather than the rational governance of society. 28. Censorship ends in logical completeness when nobody is allowed to read any books except the books that nobody reads. A satirical take on the absurdity of censorship, suggesting it defeats the purpose of literature and learning. 29. A gentleman is one who puts more into the world than he takes out. Shaw defines a gentleman not by birth or manners, but by his positive contribution to society. 30. The only secrets are the secrets that keep themselves. This quote reflects on the nature of secrets, suggesting that true secrets are those that, by their nature, remain undiscovered or unrevealed. Thank you for watching my video on George Bernard Shaw. I hope you found it insightful. I'm curious, which Johann George Bernard Shaw's quote resonated with you the most? Please share it in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Your support means a lot and helps me create more content for you. Thanks again, and see you in the next video.